Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Olive Board. My name is Varsha Diman, and here in this particular session, we are going to discuss a current affair events from 14th of Feb till 20th of Feb 2016, 2026. I'm sorry. So the aspirants who are there in the class, please let me know that the voice is okay and the screen is also clearly visible to you and how you all are doing. Yeah. Is everything fine, guys? The voice is clear, the screen is okay to you? So here we go. So there are some important updates from the last week that we have to discuss here. Okay, so let's start our discussion. And I'm about to take one more session on the next week, which will be related to the agriculture, like the use of AI in agriculture. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start our today's very interesting session. And wherever you feel like that you are not getting anything, please let me know. We'll discuss about your queries also. Okay. So, yeah, this is our application. You can be the part of the application of Only Board, and that's how you can do your preparations with us. And this is a complete course aspirant, okay, that is available on the application of Only Board. You can be the part of this course, and that's how you can do your preparations with us, okay. And aspirants with this course, you will be provided with books also that you can use to do your revisions, okay. And let's go ahead. So this is the first news article that we have to cover. So that is on 13th of Feb. Okay, 13th of Feb 1986 was a time when APEDA was come into effect. Okay, APEDA you guys are aware about. We'll talk about the functions of APEDA. We'll talk about the roles played by the APEDA. So recently on 13th of Feb, we celebrate, or APEDA celebrates the 14th establishment day. Okay, 40th establishment day was celebrated. And here we need to talk about APEDA in detail. What is it? It's a statutory export promotion authority. We know APEDA stands for Agricultural and Processed Foods Export Development Authority, like whatever the food products we want to export out of our country. APEDA act as a promotion authority, like all the decisions related to the export of any food commodities, any agriculture commodities, processed food commodities, they are all taken by APEDA. APEDA was established under the APEDA Act in the year 1985, that is on December. Okay, and that is Act 2 of 1986, and main aim was to promote the export of agriculture and processed food products from India. Okay, and it comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Now, if I talk about what are the main functions, so as I told you here, the main functions of APEDA is to promote the export of agriculture and food, processed food out of the country, so that this food will get the more market value. Okay, so while uh, like exporting any domestic products out of the country, what we need the financial help so that the transportation will be easy, so that the storage of the commodities will be easy, so that they will not lose their shelf life. And when they will reach in the global markets, we are able to fetch the good price from them. Okay, so what the APEDA do, it provide the financial assistances, it help in market intelligence, like taking the decisions very scientifically, and also help in global branding support so that agri exports will be boosted. Okay, so under the APEDAS, it help in registering the exporters of scheduled products, and that's how it ensure the compliance with export norms. Like we cannot export any such commodity so easily, it needs to be registered well. The exporters have to register about it, and then it ensure the compliance so that any such export related issues will not create any such problems in further export. Okay, and it also fixes the export standard, like these are the commodities, if they will reach that particular benchmark, then only you will be able to export this commodity, so that export standards are fixed by APEDA, as well as it monitors the quality, like whatever the commodities you're exporting, are they of good quality or not. It also inspect the meat and processed products, are they are consumable or they are outdated. So all these Quality checks are also performed by APEDA as well. It helps in, like I told you in the beginning of the discussions or functions, that it provides a financial assistance. So when we talk about the horticultural commodities or any such products processed where the processing is much needed because they are having high amount of moisture content in them, plus their perishable rate is quite high. So APEDA help in providing the improved packaging facilities, labeling facilities, value added facilities, so that their global competitiveness will be enhanced. If you are going out of your house and you are having a pack with you, and when you will reach your destination, you observe that the pack is not having the desirable quality or it is just spoiled, you will not get anything and you will feel discouraged at that point. So APEDA help you in providing all the improved facilities so that you will be in the market with the good appearance, and that will help you to fetch the good price in the global markets. Okay, so these are all the roles and responsibilities played by the APEDA. Clear? Now moving ahead, if I talk about the another important functions of APEDA, so it act as a secretariat for certifications and regulations of organic exports. So now we are, as we are having the largest area under the organic production, so we are supposed to promote our organic production. So it is also acting as a secretariat so that it will give the certification to these products and then they can reach to the global markets, specifically the organic products. Okay, it also collects and publishes export data so that policy formulations will be supported and trade planning can be done effectively. If you are having, see, if you're having the data and you are not utilizing this data in planning the further export, what will happen? There will be chaotic situations and you will not be able to handle all those situations. Okay, so APEDA is helping in managing all these situations. Right? Now it interested with oversight of sugar imports. Okay, it includes fruits, vegetables, basmati rice, meat, dairy, cereals, honey, guar, gum, floriculture, herbal plants, cashew, beverages, and more. So all these agriculture, horticulture commodities, they are processed out of the country with the help of APEDA only. Okay. Now moving ahead, if I talk about what's the significance, so why there was a need arises to have any such organization or any such authority. See, if all the things will be more planned, it would be easy for the further export and for the further promotion of any other agriculture commodity. So that's why it was felt that APEDA is needed. Okay, so that's why APEDA was established. Okay, it helps in boosting the agriculture exports. Okay, and because of APEDA, okay, which is a statutory body taking all the major decisions related to the export of agriculture and processed food, we had now crossed billions in recent years. Okay. And when our farmers are in the global markets and they are getting the good prices for the products that they are creating at their homeland, so definitely their income will be enhanced. Okay, and they will be encouraged and they will grow and move ahead in the crop diversification direction because they get their new products are getting the good market values. Okay, next is, this is all about APEDA. I think if there will be any question around the APEDA related to its establishment, related to its functioning, you guys will be able to do. Okay. Now moving on, another news article. So this is a very important news article. So recently it is observed that, and we also discussed this in detail in one of the session, that fertilizers are very important for our agriculture crop. But in the name of genuine fertilizer, some companies are misleading our farmers. Some companies are doing dhoka with our farmers. So because of which the farmers have to suffer, and as well as their agriculture land also. So by considering all these situations, recently UP government has banned the sale of non-subsidized specialty fertilizers by urea manufacturers, citing tagging or forced cross-selling concerns. Okay, see, this is also a very good business for the people who are in this particular sector. Like if a government is providing the nutrient based subsidies, okay, like the farmers will get the fertilizers at reasonable prices so that there will be no such burdens on the farmers, okay. But some manufacturers are coming ahead and they are providing the no subsidized specialty fertilizers, because of which the farmers have to suffer, because of which the farmers are not getting the fertilizers at reasonable prices, and that's how they have to bear the burden. So that's how the government has observed it and come ahead with the ban of all these kind of fertilizers. Okay, so there was a debate sparked on the stifling nature of government controls in an industry already struggling with rigid price caps and distribution mandates. Okay, so this is if I look at the datas, okay, so this is how, like how this is much we are producing and that much fertilizers we are importing, or this fertilizer we are consuming in our country. Okay, so on the basis of all these data, okay, government is coming ahead to provide the fertilizer at subsidized price, but still some manufacturers are creating challenges for the government. Okay, so that's how this need was arised. Okay, so fertilizer industry, all it is very much needed now, because we are living in a country which is agriculture based. Agriculture is our main source of income. Okay, our whole economy is majorly dependent upon agriculture and allied activities. Okay, it is providing the raw materials to other major industries also. Okay, so agriculture is important, and if I look at the fertilizer industry, that is also important because it's a backbone of our India's food security. It's a bridge between industrial manufacturing and agriculture productivity. If the fertilizer that we are applying on our agriculture land, it will be good. So definitely our agriculture productivity will be improved, and that's how we'll be able to satisfy all the food related needs of our growing population. Okay. So while technically a commercial sector, it functions as a policy supported backbone where the government dictates every major variable, like from the price at which a product have to be sold to the specific district where a railway rake must be unloaded. Okay, so in the previous one of the session we discussed about the rail ministry and the fertilizer. They come ahead together because we need to supply, we need to transport the fertilizers to long distances, and it would be easy if the rail ministry and the fertilizer department will collab with each other. Okay, and all the major decisions are taken by the government in this direction. Okay, so that the supply of the fertilizers will be appropriate and there will be no such drudgeries in it. Okay, so we are having some important data related to it. So we are massively consuming the fertilizers. We means to say we are purchasing the fertilizer so that we will fulfill the nutrient requirements of our soil, so that we'll be about to get the good production from our agricultural land. Okay, so if I look at the total fertilizer consumption of the year 2024-25, it was approximately 65.3 million tons. And if we look at the urea, which is the major fertilizer providing the nitrogen to our agriculture land. Like 46% nitrogen is obtained from urea, and that is accounting roughly 40 million tons. Like most of the fertilizer, like every farmer will definitely add the nitrogen to the agriculture land because it is one of the major, the most important fertilizer for our agriculture crops to grow. Okay. Now, production milestone. See, in January 2026, we recorded its highest ever monthly potassium and phosphatic production of 15.576 lakh metric tons. So, this is an achievement for us. Okay. And we are having the fertilizer based subsidies. So, for this year, it is observed that it is rupees 1.71 lakh crore. That shows the massive state expenditure required to keep prices low. So if the government is providing you any such commodity which is required in a huge amount at the lowest prices or subsidized prices, that means government have to spend a lot of money there. If government is providing you at something at a subsidized price, that means government is increasing the price of any other commodity so that the expenditure will be balanced. Okay, so these are certain facts that you need to be aware of. Okay, import dependency, like still we are having the good production of fertilizer, we are having the urea plants, but still we need to import the fertilizers from other countries. And definitely when we are importing any other commodities, we need to pay the import duties, and that's how the fertilizers we are having will be of we are getting it at a higher prices, but government is providing it to the farmers at lowest prices. So who will pay the in between price gap? Definitely the government will take it. And how you know about it? Okay, so India remains heavily dependent on imports for raw materials, like 100% of its potash and nearly 90% of its phosphate is coming from other countries. Okay, strategic shift is needed, like we are now having the nano fertilizer, so that we will apply the fertilizer only where it is needed. And now we are also moving towards a precision farming practices, so that the amount of fertilizer we are applying in our field, that will be exactly the same our agriculture crop is needed. We are not applying the what do you call it as blanket doses of the fertilizers. Okay, we are shifting towards a process where the adequate amount of fertilizers will only be provided to our agriculture land. Okay, so this is another important point to take care. Now, what's the current controls governing the industry? So we are having the price capping, that is for urea. So the MRP of urea has remained virtually frozen at rupees 266.5 per 45 kg bag since 2012, regardless of rising input cost. Okay, example, companies like NFL and IFCO must sell at this price despite high global natural gas prices, recovering the difference as a subsidy. Okay, conditional decontrol, specifically for the nutrient based subsidies. So under the nutrient based subsidies, potassium and phosphorus fertilizer are technically free, but the center set an indicative market price, or that marked retail price. So 1350 price tag for DAP has been maintained through flexible subsidy adjustments, so that farmers backlash will be prevented during global price spikes. So these are the current situations. So that's how the government is trying to balance the situation. Okay. Another is movement control. So we are having that Essential Commodities Act, and under this act, Department of Fertilizer prepares a strict agreed supply chain for every company. Like this is a supply chain, and every company have to supply this much of fertilizer, but there are certain companies who are selling the non-subsidized specialty fertilizers, because of which the UP government have to come ahead with a ban. Okay, so there are certain target. These are the monthly plans, and the government and the different manufacturing companies have to follow them. Okay, egging and sales ban. State governments exert ground level control by banning or restricting the sale of non-subsidized products. So this is the thing that UP government recently did. Okay, because most of the players, the fertilizer players in the market, are coming ahead with the non-subsidized specialty fertilizer. Okay, so this is a need arises now, and because of these non-subsidized fertilizers, what is happening? Price hike we are observing in the markets. Okay, next is branding standardization. So one nation, one fertilizer. Okay, so this is a scheme that is branding, or that is mandating, like all the subsidized fertilizers in our country will be sold under one brand name, that is Bharat. So high quality manufacturers like Chambal or Coromandel, they can only use one third of the bag space for their own brand, neutralizing the brand value. Okay, now implications of excessive control. So what is actually happening? Like soil health is deteriorating. So fixed low prices for urea lead to its over application. So what is actually happening? The government is providing the subsidies, nutrient based subsidies. So farmers find it easy to purchase the fertilizers at any point of time, because fertilizers are available to them at reasonable prices. So when they are getting the packets of fertilizers at reasonable prices, they are purchasing it and they are applying excessively on their agriculture land. They're thinking of, if they will apply the fertilizers in huge amount, definitely their production will increase. But this is not the scene. Okay, excess fertilization applications on the agricultural land on a regular basis is deteriorating the health of the soil. It is making the cell, it is making the soil like enriched with toxic substances, which is not good for any agriculture production. Okay, so this is the scenarios we are observing. The farmers in Punjab and Haryana, they are applying excess of nitrogen in their agricultural land, because of which their soil is now saline and the crop responsiveness has declined. Okay, so excessive control is also not good, because the farmers are having all these things that easily available to them. Stifled innovations. So now, when companies are banned from selling premium, non-subsidized products, they lose the incentive to invest in research and development. See, when you will streamline something, like you just want one product, why the company will invest more money in research and development to have innovative ideas? Why the companies think of come ahead with some new technologies? You are having the subsidized prices available. You are not allowing the companies to have some new premium products in the market at high prices. So why the company will take another step? No, they will also keep on forming and keep on creating the same thing again and again. So UP ban discourages farm from big. So if the UP and other state also, they will ban the fertilizer companies. What they will do, they will not come ahead with high efficient specialty fertilizers. And that's how they will promote fertigations and precision farming. Like how will we do this? Okay, like in one way it is good, but another way it is not good, because if the fertilizer companies will have these kind of ban, they will not come in the market with new products. Might be the new products are good for the land areas. Okay, so that is what it is doing. It is discouraging the innovations. It is discouraging the research and development and innovations basically. Negative investor sentiments. So, constant policy flip flops and retrospective bends deter private and foreign investments in domestic manufacturing. Okay, someone is sitting outside and he is observing that something is going on in your place, and that is not good. Like you find it very uncertain situation. Will you be able to come and check, and you will be able to invest in the specific company? No, na, because you observe that the scenario is like critically twisted. Okay, so it will create a negative impact in the mind of the investor. They will not feel like investing in the manufacturing companies of the country. Okay, so this is another loss. Then is fiscal fragility. So this subsidy bill is highly sensitive to global shocks, creating a subsidy trap that drain the national exchequers. Okay. Now, so I think the points related to the fertilizers, related to this non-subsidized specialty fertilizer, is clear in your mind. Like if you have any such question, descriptive question around this topic, you will be able to answer it. Give me a thumbs up if all the points are clear in your mind. Aspirants who are in the class, please let me know. Is it clear to you? Like what we are discussing here? Any doubt? Huh? Everything okay, guys? So what's the way ahead? What's the way ahead? Like what kind of conclusions we can have with this, and what kind of consequences we have to go ahead with? So bring urea under nutrient-based subsidy. Move urea into the nutrient-based subsidy framework to correct price distortions and encourage balanced nutrient use. Direct benefit transfer to farmers. Shift the subsidy from the manufacturers to the farmers' bank account, allowing market forces to determine, so that the market forces will determine the retail prices, like at which prices they have to sell their commodity. So this is one way we can go ahead with. Decriminalize the sector. So remove the non-subsidized fertilizers from the Essential Commodities Act, so that it reduces the inspector rush and encourages ease of doing business. Incentivize green fertilizers. There is a need to have, like if we are coming ahead with the green fertilizer, so they need to get the incentives for that. Okay, and for the nano fertilizer technologies adoption for green ammonia, so that to reduce the imports and subsidy dependence. Rationalize taxations. There's a need to address the inverted GST duty structure where raw materials are taxed higher than the finished products so that it will improve the company cash flows. Okay, so these are certain steps needed. Now, what's the conclusion? So this fertilizer industry, it's remain a relic of the permit raj, like they have to take the permissions for anything. Okay, where government control over pricing and distribution has created a cycle of because government is controlling all these prices. Although government is taking the good decision, but somehow if the government is not aware about the present trend, so that is resulting in soil degradation and fiscal strains also. So while the recent UP ban aims to protect farmers from tagging, it ultimately sacrifices long-term innovations and investor confidence. Okay, so for the short-term administrative is what you are doing. You are sacrificing the long-term innovations. You are sacrificing the investor confidence. Okay, so for now it might be beneficial, but in the long term, the fertilizer companies have to suffer, the farmers have to suffer, and in short, will not get the investors if we are coming ahead with the innovation. Okay, so this is not a good, great move about it in general. Okay, now another important article to discuss. So recently I took a session also where we discussed about the Govardhan scheme, and in this particular article also we are going to talk about it. So before moving ahead, I want to know, is everything that we had discussed till this point is clear in your mind, guys? Yeah, give me a thumbs up in the comment box that everything is clear to you. Is it okay? I'm not receiving your responses. All right. So let's come ahead with the next very important topic to discuss here. Chalo. So, Government of India recently highlighted the progress of waste to wealth mission. Okay, it's something which is needed, like how we can utilize the waste. So it's about the circular economy approach. Like once in the that Govardhan mission time also we had also discussed about it. Like what is that circular economy? Like whatever we are generating, we are utilizing it again, so that nothing will nature and it will the nature. Okay, so that is a circular economy. So they are different. These are the 6 R's composed of it, like starting from the reducing, reuse, recycle, refurbish, recover, and repair. So that the waste will not release into the nature and will not have the more bad impacts on the environment of any such products. This is a circular economy. We are focusing upon this regenerative system in our agriculture also. Okay, and these are the 6 R components of it. Okay, and with the help of this circular economy, what we are doing, we are creating valuable inputs like bio compressed natural gas. It is also known as the compressed biogas. We are having the composites, we are having the biocars, biochars, and we are using them. Okay, we are reducing our dependency upon fossil fuels because they are having the negative impacts on the environment. Okay, so this is the concept of circular economy in agriculture, and that is giving us a good results in return. Right. So moving ahead, what are the key points related to this? So what kind of achievements we had recently in this direction? So we know that we are a agriculture dependent country, okay, nation. So definitely after doing that agriculture productions and after harvesting our main agriculture crops from our field, there will be the post harvest losses, there will be the straw that we have to alternatively supply. Okay, and they are household waste also. So if we talk about the agriculture waste, so we are generating approximately 350 million tons of agriculture waste. Okay, and this agriculture waste have a potential to generate 18,000 megawatt of power annually. So we need to utilize it judicially. So India's circular economy is projected to reach a market value of trillions and create 10 million jobs by 2050. And globally, 1.3 billion tons of foods are wasted, and India 60% of food waste occurs at the household level. So this is the different data around it. Okay, and as of we talk about of January 2026, there are 979 operational biogas plants across India, and they are established under the Govardhan scheme, and they are utilizing all these agriculture waste, and they are helping in generating energy with the help of these waste. Okay, now, so what's the importance? So if this circular economy will be followed in agriculture, so how it will help? It will help in the restoration of soil health. Like we'll start supplying that organic waste that we are generating, like we are rearing the animals, and whatever the excreta they will produce, we will use that excreta as a composite, as an organic manures in our agricultural land, so that our dependency on chemical fertilizers will be reduced. Okay, so we can use it biogas slurry in our agriculture farmlands, so that the dependency on the synthetic fertilizers will be reduced, and it will also help in restoring the health of our soil. Next is climate mitigation. Okay, so what we are doing by following the circular economy in agriculture, we are capturing the methanes from decomposing waste, and that will reduces the greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, when greenhouse gases will not be emitted in the atmosphere, it will not leads to global warming, it will not leads to increase in the temperature of global or the earth. Okay, so that unified Govardhan portal, what you do, it tracks the compressed biogas productions, directly contributes to India's net zero targets by preventing open decompositions. It will also help in like whatever the waste the farmers are generating by rearing their cattle, or by after harvesting of the agriculture products, they are transporting it to the biogas plants. And they are also involved in the practices of establishments of the biogas plants. So this will, and whatever the biogas or compressed biogas will be created here at the biogas, they will sell all these to the nearby industries and other areas, and that's how it will help them in generating more income. Okay, water securities. So what we are using, we are treating the waste waters, and we are using it for different agriculture operations. So this circular economy in agriculture is also helping us in reusing the water that is generated. Okay, resource efficiency will be observed, like it will align with global sustainability goals, like sustainability development goal number 2, that is zero hunger, and sustainable development goals number 12, that is responsible consumptions. Okay, another such is, what are the initiatives taken so far? So we discussed about Govardhan mission, Govardhan scheme. Okay, what it is helping in? We are converting the cow dungs or the livestock waste and the food waste into the compressed biogas and organic manure. We are focusing upon crop residue management. So that's how it's providing subsidies for machines. And now we are having nearly 42,000 custom hiring centers. Agricultural infrastructure funds. So that much fund is sanctioned for post-harvest assets, that includes 545 organic input production projects. We are having the animal husbandry infrastructure development fund, that is to support the livestock practices. Okay, so that the farmers can go ahead with the integrated farming practices. See, because for the rearing of cattle and other such animals, they don't need an extra space, and whatever the waste your livestock will generate, you can use it as an organic manures on our agriculture farmyard manures on our agriculture lands. So that's how they will be the part of a circular economy. Okay, whatever they are producing, they are using it, they are reusing it, and that's how the biodegradable waste will be utilized properly. Okay, biodegradable waste management you can do. Right, what are the challenges associated with this? So something that we are having today, we are following today, it's not easy to have. Okay, so it all the things that we are following, they all comes with certain challenges. Right, so what are the challenges we are facing in this direction or in this specific manner? So initially the cost will be high, investment cost. So biogas establishment is not an easy thing to do. You need to have good handsome amount in your hand that you can use for the establishment of biogas plants. Okay, you need to purchase a residue machineries. Okay, and that cannot be purchased like easily. You need to have a good capital in your hand. Okay, there are some logistical bottlenecks. Collecting and transporting bulky biomass from fragmented land holdings is expensive. So it is generally recommended to establish the biogas plants where like near to the locations where the waste generation is usually like visible. If it is like you are establishing the biogas plants very far away from the agricultural land areas, you need to invest a good money in the transportation. Okay, so these kind of logistical bottlenecks are also observed. Technological gaps. So although we are now having the good technologies to deal with all these challenges, but still efficient conversion of diverse types of engineered biochar or specific modular reactors is still in early stages. Okay, so they are just introduced. We are not having the advanced technologies, more advanced technologies to work in this direction. Behavioral inertias. So, like this is something we are having in our mind from the very beginning, that we can burn the stubbles, and that will help in the quick land clearing so that we can use the land for the production of another crop. Okay? So we need to change the mindsets of the farmers. This is something which is very much needed. Like we are having all the technologies, although they are in the initial stage, but we need to shift the behavior of the farmer. Like this is another way to deal with the challenges. Okay. Now, market linkages. So sometimes this is also a challenge. You are producing the biogases, you are producing the compressed biogas, but you are not having the markets nearby where you will sell, and how will you get the income? So farmers are facing these kind of challenges also. Okay, organic fertilizers usually suffer because subsidized ureas are available. Chemical fertilizers are available at reasonable prices to the farmer. So why will they go and purchase high value organic fertilizers? So this is also a challenge. What's a way ahead we can go ahead? What are the different ways we can use to promote the circular economy in agriculture? Like we need to integrate the small scale farmers into the carbon credit market so that they will get something. When you get the good returns with time, you observe it as a good practice to do. Okay, we need to empower FPOs so that they can manage the custom hiring centers and bio CNG clusters at the village level. Okay. We need to invest in engineered biocars and microbes that can accelerate in situ decomposition of stubbles. We need to ensure organic fertilizer that receives similar policy support. Okay. See, the chemical fertilizers are receiving the policy supports. They are in the market at subsidized prices. If the organic fertilizers will also get this subsidized support, they will also get a good chance, or there will be a good possibility to have all these things in market. Okay, next we have scale up jan andolan, like people's movement to educate households and farmers on the economic benefits of waste segregation. Right, so what's the conclusion? So although it's not easy, but it will take time. Okay, it's no longer a choice but a necessity. So it's not like that we are having all other alternative options available. This is a final step that we can do if we want to grow in a very good manner. Okay, because we have to go ahead with the long-term food securities and resilience. Okay, we are having these initiatives available. Okay, we need to take care and we need to move in a good direction with these initiatives. And this is ultimately help us to achieve the targets of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Okay, so that's all about this news article. Now, recently, something very different has happened, and what is it? That India's first dedicated B corridors along national highways has announced. What's the need for this? So, what's the role the bee play for us? So, bee are the pollinators. Okay, they help in providing the pollen grains to our agriculture and other such like horticulture crops. Okay, so recently, bee corridors are like developed along national highways. Okay, and these bee corridors will have the flowering trees, the plants. What they do, they provide year-round nectar and pollen support to honeybees and other pollinators. Okay, so these trees, like bees, will take the nectars from these trees and they will use it for the honey productions. Okay, and why there was a need arises to have these bee pollinators or bee corridors specifically, so that the ecological stress on pollinators will be reduced to ensure sustained availability of nectar sources. Okay, to strengthen agriculture productivity and ecological balance through climate sensitive highway plantation plannings. Okay, now what are the important features of these bee corridors? So they will have the tree species like neem, karanj, mahua, palash, jamun, and siris. Okay, and they will ensure near continuous flowering across seasons so that the pollinators' food supply will be maintained. They will be having the nectars. Okay, flowering clusters planted every 500-meter to 1 kilometer, that is aligned with average bee foraging distances. What's the significance? It will help in strengthening the pollination criticals for agriculture and horticulture. It will also help in integrating the biodiversity conservations. Okay, so this is a new initiative that we discussed about. So in this manner, we discussed about 4 or 5 very important news article of the this particular week. Okay. So aspirants, please let me know in the comment box if you are having any doubt related to the session, related to the current affairs. And you can connect with me on this Telegram channel. Okay. And make sure you guys will do all your preparations well, cover all the related current affairs events also time. Thank you so much. And be the part of this batch as well. Like static portion is also important. Like yesterday, I took a session where I discussed about the static portions important, specifically for ARD subject. Okay. So make sure you will cover all your topics. Right. Thank you so much and ending the session for